Hey guys.
Check complete. Let's head over to the bar.
Yes. And welcome back to another episode of the VARBAR, episode 223. Am I right, Mace?
You said it, not me.
Episode 223, man, if I got my admin correct. I'm your host with the absolute most, Drew, aka Rapping Drew. And I'm joined by my gooners as usual. Obviously, last week we weren't there. Apologies for that, but we're back again. Back with a brand new episode with my gooner family, Mace, Toast.
What it do, man?
I kind of know how you guys. I don't know how you guys doing, but I can gauge how you guys are doing. But the guys, the people want to hear it from the horse's mouth, man. How you guys doing?
I'm good. Fine. Can't complain.
That struggle smile, Mace.
Hey, sometimes when you just accept your reality, life just tends to be fine for you, bro. That's how it is. What about you, Toast? How you doing?
Man?
Boy, I got my F1 hat on, innit, man? Shout out Red Bull. I'm waiting for the F1 season, innit, man? The Australian Grand Prix, innit? Tell what, next week? This weekend, yeah? Say no more, man.
Yeah.
Who you backing?
Not even Lewis thing, no?
Jeez. It's always Lewis. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's always Lewis, but obviously, yeah, shout out Red Bull, though. But nah, man, yeah. Lewis, obviously, to bounce back, innit, man? Obviously, last couple of years have been a bit sticky still. So, yeah, we go again, man. And he's 40 as well, which is a mad thing.
Man, like Verstappen. Yes. All right, man. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. We've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, game of the weekend: Manchester United versus Arsenal. That's the age old. You can't even call it a derby, but it's like a big rivalry, man. In terms of Premier League, Barclays, our era at least. Like if you're born in the early 90s, United, Arsenal's always been a big game. Fergie, Wenger, etc. We've had a couple of iterations earlier this season in the FA Cup. United won on penalties. Early in the season, it ended with a 2-0 win, I think, for Arsenal.
2-0 win.
Courtesy to 2. You know, when your man were corner kick FC. And then you had this. Then you had this iteration as well, which, if I can start, man, especially the first half, this is exactly what I expected from the game. How I expected the game to pan out. Dire, slow, no pace. United sitting back and hoping for a counter with just Alejandro Garnacho or bust. Arsenal, fruitless possession, not really penetrating. And that's exactly how it panned out. I felt like the goal from Bruno Fernandes came at a right time. I had a feeling that he was going to score. I don't know how you guys thought, but I just knew he was going to back that, to be honest. 1-0, and then obviously second half it was all to play for. Declan Rice with a good goal, very good goal, very good performance from him as well. Not many on the Arsenal side, but a very good performance from him overall. He can hold his head high. But man, from an Arsenal perspective, pre-game, I know you're many points behind Liverpool already, but there was still some sort of pressure for Arsenal. I felt all the pressure was on Arsenal for you guys to win, to still have some sort of hope, believe for whatever that could happen, in the future. But you guys, Arsenal failed to deliver at the big stage, man, under the lights, man. If I can start with Mace, chat to me in regards to pre-game, how you felt the game was going to go, how you felt going into the game, and then how it ended up. Was it any different to what you expected? Yes or no?
So to begin, I will start with Toaston's comments following the 7-1 win against PSV, where he said, I'm not getting excited because my team is going to go to Old Trafford and pull out the rubbish. And I agreed. I honestly agreed with his sentiment. And that was my pre-game feeling heading into the game against United. Did I think we were going to draw the game? Not necessarily. I thought we were good enough to run out with a win. But after the game, my second thoughts or what I was thinking was just this game planned out exactly how it was supposed to. Because I think one thing we need to understand is the Arsenal Premier League, the Arsenal that you see in the Prem and the Arsenal you see in Champions League are two different Arsenals. Just because the game being played in those tournaments or those, I guess, both formats are different, right? In the Champions League, yes, in the Champions League, teams will come out to play against you because it's a Champions League, and when you do that against Arsenal. When you do that against Arsenal, you give them space and you see them play well. In the Prem, teams have figured out Arsenal. So what they do, they go into a low block, frustrate Arsenal, and hit on the counter. So what doesn't help us is we have a toothless attack, and our midfield isn't firing to the degree we expect it to be. So at the end of that game, I thought, okay, this game played out exactly how it really should have. Because when you have possession, and you meet a team playing low block, what my expectations is your attack has to step up, and more importantly, your midfield has to get it popping. Arsenal don't have both at the moment, especially attack. And yet the game just played how it was supposed to. United had the chances and took it. That game, to be honest, we should have lost that game if not for David Raya. David Raya made excellent saves. So coming out of that game thinking, did we deserve to lose that game? Yes, we did, because we were terrible. But also a draw, I'm not surprised.
Would I say did you deserve to lose that game? Probably not, but you were lucky in the end. Similar to like the Liverpool United game. Remember when Maguire had that chance? I think the thing is that. I hear you. They had good chances. Ryan made some good chances,
but then we didn't take our chances. We didn't do nothing with the possession we had, right?
Yeah.
And the best chances fell to United. So football it's very unforgiving sometimes. So you have to just accept that Raya was the man of the match, at least from Arsenal's point of view, and he got us to draw. So that's my take. We weren't good enough, and the draw was probably the best result we could have taken from that game.
What do you guys actually, Toast, you go ahead if you have anything more to say on the match, then I'll
yeah, man. I mean, to answer your question, pre-match, it was one of those ones where I knew it was going to be a difficult game because, again, like Mace says, I know how teams play. Amorim as well is desperate for a result, and I know how toothless our attack is. So it was a game that I expected us to dominate in the first half, and it was exactly kind of what we did. But I definitely felt as if there were going to be chances for United in that game, and said this on pods a couple of weeks ago. I think it was after the West Ham game, that I pretty much know how all the league games are going to go from between now and the rest of the season, until the end of the season, until we get maybe Saka back, until we get Saka back, let's say, because obviously when he's available, we play through him. Like, teams don't fear our attack. They have no real reason to, because it's a second string attack. Do you know what I mean? So teams are going to be able to say, you know what? We don't fear all of this possession football that they're doing, all of these patterns that they're doing on the edge of the box. Have at it. And then when our chances come, we'll take them, which is what they did. They got up the field, won a free kick. Bruno took the free kick very, very well. And then obviously at that point, you're feeling yourself, you're feeling a bit confident. Second half starts now. Mazraoui could have ended the game. Corbin Blue could have ended the game with the back flick. Højlund could have ended the game if not for Declan Rice's great intervention, So, like, I mean, I know I was joking about it in the group, but doing life or death with this iteration of Man United it's just unacceptable. Whatever team you put out there, if you're a title challenger and you're coming to this version of Man United, who have basically been swimming in the bottom half all season, some way, somehow, you should be able to kind of get out there with 3 points. So to say that we were lucky almost not to lose at the end of it, which in fairness we were, because even Bruno's chance, I forgot Bruno's final chance where Raya made the double save. Unacceptable, man. This part of the season's a bit of a strange one because it's almost like a blessing and a curse, It's like a blessing because at least I should hope management and the director of football that maybe is coming in and Arteta can see that we don't have a City bench. Like, if you actually look at us We've won 15 games this year. Nottingham Forest have won 15 games. Like people are talking about title race, but we're actually probably closer, if we're being realistic, to Forest than we are to Liverpool. Like realistically, it's a title race only because you can't really have a one team in a title race. So the second team by default are in the title race. But realistically, it's not been a title race for a long time now. And to be honest, if I'm honest, since the West Ham game, I feel like obviously like it's been done. So I didn't really come into this game thinking, oh, we need to kind of win these 3 games back to back and then see what happens, which was the narrative that was going on Twitter. Liverpool don't play again in April. I think we play 3 times before Liverpool play their next game. If we win 3 games, like when you start doing mental maths, like you're doing like long arithmetic just to see how many it's done.
But you guys been doing this though. You guys been doing this.
But when?
You did it early doors, bro.
But
you did it early doors.
This is the thing. This is the thing. You man have been wheeling up obviously everything else saying early doors.
Everything.
I stand by that because I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna give anyone a title in week 9, right? So I have no. You can reel up all the clips you want. I have to hold that. I take the L. But at the end of the day, it was early in the season, but I don't feel as if I've been deluded or anything at any point following then, because it's one of those ones where, to be fair, like I said, in those 15 games, everyone knows we matched the results. We didn't get closer to you, but we matched the results. So it's not as if like it's been done. But obviously, like I said, from the West Ham game, I feel it's done. So sorry, back to my point. A blessing almost, because like in my opinion, I feel like Arteta, management, director of football, will look at this team and be like, without our best players, we're basically a very average team. But it's a curse, because my concern now is, let me not even say our best attackers, because I'm personally ready to jump ship from Havertz and Martinelli, but our starting attackers are going to come back.
By the way.
And Trossard, as in you're done with Trossard?
Yeah, bro.
Or,
Yeah, bro.
wow.
I'm done.
For,
I'm done
for
with
me,
it,
for me, I'm not, because I know he's never been like yeah, thank you. I know he's a squad player. I know he's never been like a starting level player. Every time he goes on a nice run of form and starts, he struggles.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about Trossard is I feel as if he knows his role. He excels in that no pressure, I'm coming off the bench or I'm going to impact the game role. Ask Trossard to start now. Like, you're not going to get too much output. So my concern, just to kind of close the loop on this, is Havertz is going to come back. Martinelli is going to come back. And people are going to be like, oh, you know what? We're actually really close. Like, Saka's fit. Let's get the other 2 fit. Maybe sign 1 player, and Gabriel Jesus is going to come back. Brother, we're not close, man. Like we're not close, and like I'm okay with my defense and my goalkeeper. Raya, we'll probably get onto the free kick a bit later, but I'm okay with our back 5 personally. Our starting back 5, but I need to see wholesale changes in our middle 3 and our front 3. Like to the point that right now, if you told me that only Rice and Saka from our front 6 starts next season, I'm good with that. I know that sounds crazy because I'm included Odegaard in that. I want Odegaard to stay, but I think Odegaard has to understand that there has to be some competition for his place, because he has showed me, like I said last week, 2 weeks ago, that he is Saka or bust, bro. Like Odegaard can't do a job on his own. Like, right, like the thing about Odegaard, he's a beautiful footballer to watch. I genuinely mean that. And if it's a training exercise, I'm sure he looks unbelievable. But football is about being decisive. Football is about scoring goals. Football is about high quality creation of chances. And man, he's fallen off a cliff in terms of his output, like this season, man. And he's probably currently in the team right now, on paper, is our best player. Him and Saka have been talked about in world-class circles for years and years now. Does that look like a world-class player to you, honestly? Like, so yeah, man.
Yeah, just to kind of jump on Toast in regarding Odegaard, a point I was been thinking about. I think he lacks a killer instinct, and as for number 10, that's worrying in my opinion.
Can't have it.
Because he's so industrious. It kind of begs a question: why don't we try him as an 8? Because that's essentially that's one of the key components that come to an 8, the ability to move up and down. So Odegaard, I think next year we should be considering him as an 8 and trying to figure out that number 10 quandary. Because
honestly, it's not a bad shout, honestly, man. But I feel like his days may be numbered as the starting 10, because, like, bro, he can't really create anything for himself, bro. He's shy. He shot averse. Like it's just odds. Like all of the chances that he creates always end up being half chances. Like all of these flick, like scoop through balls that you're doing, bro. Like you ain't got Haaland up top, bro. So no, who's got the time to bring this ball down and shoot? Like, man, it's just man. It's been very upsetting.
I think the Odegaard slight revisionism, I think, it's a bit harsh from especially from the Arsenal's perspective. I get it, of course, because it's your player. Maybe if it was my player as well, I would feel the same. I get it, but just stepping back, I just feel like Odegaard is having an off season. That's how I see it.
Agreed.
I think you guys need to chalk this season to the similar as happening to Phil Foden at City. Chalk this season, charge it to the game. You know what Odegaard has done for you guys. You know what he's done for you guys at the back end of last season. Because then, when Bukayo Saka was quiet, Odegaard stepped up. Odegaard stepped up for you guys. So for me, hold on. So for me, like the way you guys coming on Odegaard's back, people are telling him he needs to get sold. People are telling him he shouldn't be a starting 10. People are telling me he should be an 8. Bro.
Right.
Relax. If the same thing is happening next season, then I'll hear it.
I think one thing you have to you know what, I agree with you in regards to Odegaard having a bad season, and it's unfortunate that he's having a bad season when we don't have Saka. That's actually unfortunate for Arsenal. But one issue I've had with Odegaard from the dawn of time in regards to how long he's been at Arsenal is his killer instinct, the lack of killer instinct. I'm not sure if you remember when we played Villa, when they beat us, I think John McGinn spun that John McGinn only goal, when Odegaard had a chance to basically blast that ball top bins, and he just hit it straight at what's the keeper's name?
Was it Emi?
Martinez? Martinez. And those instances cascade through the whole season, and you keep seeing it, and that's ultimately my issue with Odegaard. That killer instinct as a number 10 for Arsenal, you must have that killer instinct.
Would you take Bruno over him?
In regards to the thing about
just everything.
I was exactly asking this question.
Would you take Bruno over Odegaard?
I would have a team of Bruno and Odegaard. I think that would be a great balance. That would be an absolutely great balance. That's basically what you need in that midfield. But in regards to controlling the tempo, you need Odegaard. But the thing is, I would take Odegaard I would take Odegaard. But my issue with Odegaard, just going back to, is just that lack of killer instinct, bro. And as a number 10, you need that. You need that. You need to shoot. If you notice, one thing with Arsenal yesterday is, how many shots did we take? In a low block, you need to take shots.
Yeah.
Andy.
If you can't penetrate.
You need to take shots. Go ahead,
Andy.
Toast.
Obviously, we know Saka's been out for a while now. Just Odegaard's last 15 games. Do you know the stats?
rattle them off.
1 goal, 1 assist, bro. In his last 15 Premier League games. Forget the anomaly that was PSV game, because from a team performance, goals-wise, and from an individual performance, like returns-wise, that was an anomaly. We can understand that. Is that acceptable to you? Like, it's one thing to say you're in a bad moment.
I'm not saying it is, bro, because I agree that he's having a bad season.
Like, for me, I'm concerned that we've seen the best of him, because for me, it's one thing to have a bad season, but when he is crumbled under the pressure, like, we've literally had to look to him as the 10 because we don't have our best player. You, as our second best player, are telling me that you have 1 goal and 1 assist in your last 15 Premier League games in a title race, in a run-in. Like, bro, like, show some pride, man. Like, that's not good enough. Like, if you're gonna put up those numbers at 10, maybe you should be playing 8, bro. Because if I'll pull up Declan Rice's stats now, I'm certain Rice has got better numbers, goals and assists wise, in his last 15 games, man. Can't happen, bro. And this is not me, like I said, this is not me jumping ship. I think it's crazy to say that we should sell him. I think there's still a very quality player there, but I think we have to understand that Just saying, okay, maybe Havertz is injured, Martinelli's injured, Saka's injured. Odegaard, you have the keys to the palace. Go and get us a result. That's not going to happen. I've seen enough games this season, and I've seen enough performances from him this season to understand that he is only good as the other parts around him. What were we talking about Bruno a couple of months ago? That out of the whole United squad, he's the only player I would have in my team because he's a difference maker. He makes things happen. He takes set pieces. He's aggressive. He can shoot from outside the box. He's not shot averse. Yes, he loses the ball a lot. Yes, he tries too many, makes a lot of bad decisions. And yes, he makes a lot of mistakes. And yes, he plays in a lot of bad balls sometimes. And he turns over the ball quite a lot. But what you know you're going to get from him is output. You know what I mean? Output. With Odegaard, like, bro, there's no intensity, man. Like, bro, there's no intensity in your game. Like, it can't just be like rondos for 90 minutes. Like, we know you can pass. We know you have a good touch. Like, do you know what I mean? We know you have a little bit of flair, but
Can I play a little bit of devil's advocate? When you talk about intensity, are you referring to him creatively? Because intensity, he does
creatively.
Yeah, okay,
Creatively.
because he chases down, he presses.
I'd say, yeah. No, I agree. He's more aggressive than people give him credit for. He does a lot of pressing. He's good with the tempo stuff. I 100% agree. But from an attacking intensity, man, like, I'm sure maybe we'll get onto this game later. And obviously, you guys know how I feel about Morgan Gibbs-White. But Ola Aina won a duel, right? In like the 80th minute of the Man City Nottingham Forest game. He gives it back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper gives it back to him. Morgan Gibbs-White picks the ball up from pretty much his own half. As soon as he looked up, what did he do? Switched it, bang, to Cho. And that led to the goal. Massive win for Nottingham Forest. Like, I can't remember the last time that Odegaard just done something unpredictable. I'm not even asking him to spray a 50-yard pass. Do you know what I mean? But do something unpredictable. Show your qualities, because Morgan Gibbs-White in that moment showed his qualities. He got the ball in his own half, switched it one time. No City player got close to a Cho. Do you know what I mean? One-on-one with Guardiola. Fair enough. Edison should have saved it, but that is the world-class. Don't get me wrong, I'm not calling Morgan Gibbs-White world-class, but those are the quality moments that you need from your 10. Those are the quality moments you need from your attacking players. 15 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. Where's that been? Your Arsenal Football Club, where's that been? Like, man,
I think in terms of, I think it's fair enough criticism in regards to Ødegaard. I totally get it. Second best player, whatever you want to rank him, captain. But the attacking quality has been lacking for Arsenal since day one. This is not new. This is not just him. This is like for the vast majority of your players. This has been an issue. You know what I mean? And even the number shows that Arsenal, in terms of like creating chances, attacking wise, you're not doing well this season. You haven't been doing well at all. Even like when Saka was there, when you had your full team, when Odegaard was injured for that period, it's never been that, regardless of Odegaard's form or not. So my question is then, because obviously you guys already last episode you stated you want to give Arteta one more season, but how much blame does Arteta get for the regression of this season? Because I feel like he bears a lot, in my opinion. But that's me.
I think basically the reason why this team plays the way it plays is because Arteta's tinkered with the team to make it defensively resolute, but not attacking, not good attacking. Yeah, free flowing going forward. And it all, for me, it all starts with the midfield, really and truly. Because I looked at that midfield yesterday, and I asked myself, this is why I keep going back to the low block. Whenever you encounter a low block, right, your midfield has to be on the job, because it's now the midfield's role to unlock that low block. And you have to basically employ a lot of quick 1-2s, direct passes, etc. I don't like the relationship of like a Partey, Rice, Odegaard. It's not working.
I think I'm done with it as well.
Yeah, it isn't working. What we need is different profiles to open up that midfield and open up our attack. Of course, we will get onto like the fact we don't have a striker a recognized striker. I'm not counting Gabi Jesus or Havertz as a striker. We don't have a out and out striker. But I do think what Arteta has not done well is, and also that goes back to his talent ID in regards to fixing that midfield, is to create or to bring in profiles that help us attack better. I don't think he's done that yet. And I'm more interested to see where that Zubimendi is going to be playing.
Yeah, but
because go ahead.
Yeah, you can say that he hasn't done well to bring in profiles to help you attack better. But then you have to coach. It has been the same pattern for a supposedly title challenging. This was meant to be his season, right? This was meant to be, you miss out on the title by a point. This season, you need to go and get it. Klopp is out. You need to go and get it now. He hasn't made any changes to his style of play, despite suffering from changes in personnel, injuries, despite suffering from performances that's not gone his way, particularly against low block teams. He stayed with his principles the same. He has not changed everything. And that's why people are calling Arsenal boring. That's why people are not really wanting to zone to Arsenal, because you know what you're going to get. And he's not really addressed that. And I think that's my issue with Arteta, that he hasn't addressed. You face adversities within games during the season and with your personnel, but you're still doing the same things. It's not possible.
It appears to me that Arteta thinks if you keep playing the way we are playing, eventually you will find success. It's not happening right now. And the question is, if we played with our full fit squad, would we be doing better with this football? What do you think? Do you reckon we would have a chance?
To be honest, I don't think it would be 16 points, but it would probably be around 7 to 9 points. I honestly believe that it would still be that gap that it was at the start of the season.
Yeah. Okay. And to be fair, I agree. Question is, what with this team right now, what could Arteta do differently? How could we play attacking football or more of an attacking football differently? What profiles have we got to look for? Because we don't have Sterling. Say if we had a Sterling who is fully fit, who's in form, that's an argument. We don't have him. Who else do we have? Trossard. Okay, I've already So my question to you is is what else could he do? And I guess that is the $1 million question for a top coach in Arsenal. You have to do something. I can't see an alternative, especially
you can see an alternative, Shalom. You can see an alternative. You're just backing the manager in the nonsense that he's doing. You can see an alternative.
I'm not backing.
Hold on. You know that Arteta for 2 seasons now he's playing it safe. It's worked well because he's now built a defensive structure where the safe playing usually means that we're not conceding, we're not getting too many chances, right? At this stage of the season, or even like when you was not getting the results, were not going your way, and you was wondering why, you have to try and be more risky. You have to try and trust your defensive players. You have to try and you have Timber, Saliba, and what's his name? Gabriel. 3 solid defenders, bro. You can trust them and free up the midfielders to go and do what they do to help the attack. Now, I mean, even that's not happening, bro. Even that's not happening. I feel like there needs to be a lot. It's too rigid. Arteta's system is too rigid. It's too stiff.
And I agree.
It's too stubborn.
And I agree with you.
That can change. It's not necessarily a personnel thing.
Is what change are you enacting? Because it is a personal thing. If you have a personnel that can be that can't adapt or there's a different way of playing.
He hasn't tried, bro. But he doesn't try. He doesn't even try.
I'm just trying to reason this out, and I think partly I agree with what you're saying, but also I don't think we can all just lump. Okay, interesting.
Go continue.
I don't think we can just lump it at he hasn't tried. I think they trained. He sees this squad day in, day out. And I'm pretty
Makes
sure
it
the
worse.
analysts, and I'm pretty sure the analysts, when they speak about it, they're all figuring ways to play and different ways to try out. And I can only imagine that Arteta and his team have considered this. Like I said, I agree that it's boring and it's very rigid, but I don't think we have the personnel to do something else. That's where I see it.
Yeah, that's fair enough, man. I disagree, but that's fair enough. Go on.
I wanna jump in, man. I want to jump in because obviously to answer your initial question, like, do I think Arteta has like one more season or whatnot, man? I mean, like, I understand that this season very likely may end up trophyless again, but just going off Premier League history, even this stat you guys can see on the screen, it shocked me, man. I'm not gonna lie, because we obviously know how we struggled, in the early seasons, right? Where we missed out on the Champions League in his second season. In his first season, I believe we finished 8th. So to see Arteta in the top 5 of this list, even had a better start than Wenger, do you know what I mean? Who won the Premier League title within his first couple of seasons. I'm actually very, very impressed. Not impressed by falling short, but impressed by what he's actually been able to do with the personnel at his disposal. I was looking at the stats, as I always do. The combination of Arsenal's first 3 starting attackers, and I understand there's been injuries this season. They've combined for 20 Premier League goals this season. I looked at Liverpool's top 3 starting attackers. They've combined for 47 goals this season. Like, you guys, I've said this for years now, and people have got onto me, but you guys know I've said this on wax for years, that even as good as Bukayo Saka is, Bukayo Saka is not. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. Bukayo Saka is not a shoot first forward, in my opinion. Bukayo Saka should be like a complementary second attacker. I know we want to compare him and Salah because they're right wingers. Salah, and I say this, I say this respectfully, like, he is one of the most selfish forwards I have ever come across. He always wants to score. He never wants to come off. He always wants to play 90 minutes. He always wants to shoot. Like, this is not who Bukayo Saka is. So if Arsenal are gonna have the success that we need to have, we need to have forward number one, probably at least one forward who's going to be our predominant goal scorer. Saka, I want him to be at Arsenal for the rest of his career. Interrupt.
Okay, cool. Do you think Saka, you know how I feel about Saka. Do you think Saka has I'm not talking about numbers, right? But has he got the potential to be a Salah? Yes or no? If let's say if a Jurgen Klopp was like, let's say Salah came to Liverpool, for example, on the club, whatever. He's selling, you need to do, Salah's gone, but I need you to do Salah's role. Would he be able to do it? Yes or no?
I'm going to say no, genuinely, because for me, I don't see Saka as a golden boot sort of player.
But if you tell him to do it, can he do it? The answer is yes.
Do it, though. What is do it? Like,
do you think so?
Said, one second. You said, I'm not talking about the goals. So what is?
No. I'm not talking about the numbers. No. I'm not talking about the numbers in volume. Saka, as he grows older, he can be a 10 plus goals, 10 plus assist guy easily.
I mean, that's fine.
I believe so. I honestly believe so. He can.
In my opinion, Salah isn't a 10 goals.
No, 10... I know he's more. But it's
a very difficult comparison, if I'm honest, bro.
No. I don't think it is. I honestly don't think it is. And people might shoot me for this, but I don't think it is. I think they're very, very similar in terms of like their skill set and in terms of like the way they move, in terms of the way they create separation to get assists and goals. How many goals has Saka got this season?
I think he's got
by the time he got injured, he was local to Salah, bro.
He had 5 goals and
assists.
in 16, and then obviously in 10 assists. Okay, Andy, I want you to kind of articulate why you think Saka would be able to have, and I'm talking about output in terms of goals. Assists, they can go band for band. Why do you, in your personal opinion, think Saka could be in the hunt for like a golden boot, maybe in a different situation or under Klopp? Because we've seen Saka for how many years now, starting week in, week out for Arsenal. He has never put up the sort of numbers that Salah does from a goal scoring perspective. I'm not saying that Saka doesn't have ability. Please don't get me wrong. But people, like in my opinion, like I can almost see sometimes Salah as more of a forward striker than a forward winger. I see Saka as just more of a forward winger. Like he's not, for me, he shouldn't be the goal getter. I've never seen him as the player that needs to be the goal getter. Like for me, I see him as a complementary piece. Like, okay,
but if you're a coach, and you know that this is your best shooter in your team, left foot, right foot, cutting in or taking a man line, he's putting it in. If you as a coach can recognize Saka's skill set, how can you tell me that you can't be like Saka? Look at Salah and be able.
I'll be honest with you. Andy. For me, I almost see this as if, let's say, in an ulterior universe, Liverpool got Mbappe or Liverpool got Haaland, and then you're asking Salah to be the main creator in the team. It's not going to work, bro. Because Salah's still going to want to get his, because inherently Salah is a goal scorer, bro.
Amanda has 22 assists all competitions.
But let's be
selfish?
But Andy, but let's be realistic in terms of Saka's career and Salah's career. Like Salah is obviously way overachieving in his assists this season. Let's be honest, we don't know Salah really for his assists. I'm not taking anything away from him this season.
He's top 10 assists all time Prem. Like let's keep it factual.
And that's okay. And that's okay, but he's not.
No, but that defeats whatever you're saying. That defeats what you're saying. That he's selfish. And he just cares about goals. No, because he's top 10.
I'm not saying that he just cares about goals. What I'm saying is that's his main priority. And in my opinion, goals are not Saka's main priority. I don't think it ever will be, because for me, I would have seen it by now. Like, let's be real. Like, you're saying that you think Saka could become Salah from a goal scorer's perspective, but why have we not seen it today? So are you saying it's just all on Arteta because Arteta is limiting him?
I think.
What is it then?
I'm not saying that, but Arteta can coach Saka to get to. I think this season Saka was on his way to have a generational season in terms of him from a goals assist perspective. I honestly believe that he was on his way to do a mad thing. That's what I believe.
You know why? The reason why I don't like this Saka-Salah comparison, because at Salah, when he was at Saka's age, wasn't doing this. So why are we comparing two players
that's one
clearly different in regards to where they are in their progression? They're clearly different.
I'm sorry to cut you, Mace.
Go ahead.
Because I actually feel very passionate about this topic. Like, I actually think you're overselling Saka as a goal scorer. Okay, let's just do the averages, right? 5 goals in 16 Premier League games. So let's say that's 10 goals in 32 games. 38 game season. So let's say give him what? He was on average for 13 goals this year, bro. Salah's on 27. Like, bro, what? It's not the same.
But bro, like, how old is Saka? Saka's still a young boy. His trajectory, he can be that. Honestly, he can be that.
I just don't see it.
No one believed when we signed Mo Salah. No one believed that Salah would do this. So you can't tell me that you think Saka cannot do that. You can't tell me that.
Andy, that's not important, because
it's all hypotheticals.
No, because 2018, he came in, brother. Okay, Andy. We're talking about two different things here. It's not about whether or not we thought he could do it. He did do it. 2017, 2018, he scored 44 goals. Like, what are we talking about here?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But I'm just saying, if you as a coach, Saka is a shooter. He's probably more clean of a shooter than Salah. Both feet. He's probably more clean than Salah. He takes Saka started to take penalties as well. He took that from Odegaard as well. So you can't tell me Saka is not consciously thinking about adding goals to his game, bro, and becoming that guy.
Now you're putting words in my mouth, bro. That's all I'm saying.
He might be. Toast, 1 second. He might be considering upping his goals, but Toast points to remains. Saka can never be Salah. Saka is more of a addendum to the main guy.
He has to be the complementary piece. He can still be the best player, but not from a goals perspective, bro. I genuinely feel like you're over. Like, bro, how can you tell me that Saka can be Salah and this season he's on to have his best season? And we've done the maths. He was averaging 13 league goals this year.
What do you mean averaging? What do you mean averaging? Like,
brother,
you don't know, bro.
Maths, man.
But like, let's okay. But the thing is, you don't know either. I'm doing it the mathematical way. 5 goals in 16 games averages out to about 13 goals. 13. Okay, let's give him 14. 14. Salah's already on 27. We're talking about Saka 14 goals. Over
I'm not saying.
games.
I'm not saying that he would have matched. I'm not saying that. I prefaced it by saying that you wouldn't match him
You're
blow for
essentially
blow.
asking that.
But I'm saying that.
And I don't think.
No, not that. I'm saying that the trajectory can be that. That's all I'm saying with Saka.
I don't think so, brother. I don't see Saka. I don't see Saka winning a golden boot, and that's not because he's not good enough or anything. I just don't see him as a guy that has the drive to.
Are you gonna apologize if he does get a golden boot?
Oh my god! If Saka gets a golden boot, we will win the league that season. Believe me.
Are you gonna apologize?
We'll win the league that season, bro.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's move on. And let's quickly touch on United, though, man, because still shit, still dire. Højlund shit, Dalot shit, everyone shit in that team. Like, it's just annoying how United, whenever they play like a top team, because they've beaten they've beaten City as well.
City.
They've drawn against you guys. They've drawn against us. It's like their style of play really suits being the underdog. But when they have to create and be the main guys, that's where they crumble in it. I quickly wanted to touch on the Declan Rice and Højlund situation. Obviously, when Højlund came on, and was your heart in your mouth when that mistake happened? When the mistake happened and the ball fell to Højlund's feet? Because I was vexed, bro. I was like, what the hell? What the hell? Brilliant. I want to say brilliant from Declan Rice, but Højlund gave him a chance to get back.
100%. But you can't. For me, I still say that's more Declan Rice's like defensive instincts, to protect the goal than it was Højlund. Because I mean, Højlund's touch wasn't horrible, but he wasn't sharp. Do you know what I mean? But his touch wasn't horrible.
It wasn't sharp. Yeah.
Like he just wasn't sharp to take the chance. But bruv, this is what we come to expect from Rasmus Højlund, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like we need to find a new nickname for him. Like we said, Acne Chris Wood is a disrespect. It's a disrespect. Yeah. I can't even do it no more.
Yeah, man.
And also shameless from Mikel Merino. Shameless. So shameless.
The way he went down.
He went down and
as soon as we counted, he got up as well, man. He
got up and ran.
Honestly. Yeah, he's a fool, man, honestly.
That guy.
What did you make of your gaffer running away from the interview? Running away from questions. What did you guys make of that?
His head is hot, bro.
Donny was running like he owed the interviewer money, man. It's crazy, man. That shit was embarrassing, man. I can't lie. But yeah, he weren't trying to hear any more questions, man. He's like, hey, man, I'm out of here, man.
Let me ask you guys a question. We'll move on from the game after this. Is it better for Arteta to leave this summer or try again next summer and potentially fail and then leave then? For him in his career and the perspective on Arteta, what would be better?
It doesn't change the way the world football sees Arteta. Arteta's stock it wouldn't change. Arteta's stock
if he tries again next season and fails, it wouldn't change.
It wouldn't change. It wouldn't change. I guarantee you it wouldn't change. Arteta's stock is rising. And
maybe it's the club bias, but I agree.
Listen, just look at the stat you just pulled out, bro. Look at the stat you just pulled out. His stock is rising. So it wouldn't change.
I can see my current gaffer blowing that away. I can see my current gaffer blowing that away.
That's okay.
I'm not too impressed, to be honest.
We're talking about that's fine. We're talking about Arteta, not your gaffer.
Right, man.
But to answer your question, it all depends on Arteta's loyalty is a very flimsy word to describe this. Arteta's relationship with Arsenal. How much he loves the club. If he doesn't care for this club, he should be gone this season. He should just say,
Arnie Slot.
I'm done.
Arnie Slot, I want to see what you have for me. Life after Mohamed Salah, innit? I want to see coaching. I want to see coaching, my boy.
You haven't seen coaching from him this season. Are you sick? You've not seen coaching from him this season. I was going to say. Oh, nah. But when I said that, I was just trying to banter. The stat that you just pulled up, incredible, 100%. Like I saw that as well earlier this week. It was incredible. But I don't believe that if he fails again next season, that his stock will be up.
Why?
I think because it will be too many failures on his name. That's what I believe. And then people will associate him with as a nearly man.
No, I agree. I think
not good talent ID and all the negative connotations that comes with it. That's what
he would say, I won the FA Cup and I won the Charity Shield twice. Nonsense. That's his rebuttal.
But that's nothing. In the grand scheme of things.
Then I get that, but he said that in the past. That's his rebuttal. That's what he would say.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be real. I don't know. I'm not willing to go out and say if he fails next season, that his stocks will go down. But I think it's fair to say that he doesn't have like indefinite stock. Do you know what I mean? Because he hasn't won anything. So eventually there's going to come a time where we're going to be looking at him. I don't think it's next season personally, because we've seen how good Liverpool have been this year. We expect them to improve. City are going to bounce back. City are they're already kind of putting the wheels in motion to bounce back. Do you know what I mean? However, like he can't just go his whole career off being an early man and think that that's going to get him anywhere. And I totally agree. Having said that, and don't get me wrong, Arteta has to take ownership. Arteta's made mistakes, but history doesn't lie to us, bro. When I'm looking at that list and I'm seeing Jose, I'm seeing Jurgen Klopp, I'm seeing Pep. Do you know what I mean? Every single Alex Ferguson, every single man above him has won the Premier League multiple times, apart from Jurgen Klopp. And Jurgen Klopp, in his era, say whether you want to say he underachieved, he won the Champions League and he won the league. So let's just say he won two of the majors. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's in good company, 100%.
Brother, and say what you want to say about Wenger if he underachieved. He's above Wenger on that list. He's above Benitez, Champions League winner. So history tells us that if he continues on his trajectory, doesn't rest on his laurels because he's not achieved anything, Arteta will leave Arsenal with significant success. I 100% believe that because history tells us so. But the operative word is operative phrase, should I say, is him resting on his laurels. If he thinks that this current squad can go band for band with the best teams next season, he's deluded, bro. Genuinely, when I say that, we need wholesale changes next season. Because like I said, I'm happy with my back five and I'm happy with the way Arsenal play. It's the personnel in his system that is the big problem that we're seeing, man. We need a new left winger. We have been crying for a number 9. We absolutely need a number 9. I personally feel as if we need another number 8 as well. A hybrid number 8, number 6 who can play the... Okay, so the way that Mac 10 and Gravenberch kind of complement each other. I need players of that profile who sometimes it's going to be Mac 10 who's going to pick up the yellow and pull a shirt. And then for the majority of the time, it's going to be Grav. Do you know what I mean? Rice can't do it all on his own. Like Rice, say what you want to say about his price tag. Rice is showing that he can do it on both ends, man. Like Rice is unbelievable. He has his limitations. Chill, my brother. Rice has his limitations. We know that. Like we know there's certain things that Rice can't do. Fine. Bring in the player next to him that can do those things that Rice can't do and let him have a complementary piece. Give Saka somebody up front in the box that he can get 20, 25 assists. Let Saka get his 20 assists. You know what I mean? Let Saka get his 15 assists easily. But if Arteta chooses to go into next season and rest on his laurels and say, I trust in these boys, we're destined for failure. I can say that, hand on heart. But I'm happy with Arteta for the next 5 years. Honestly, I am.
All right, let's move on, man. That's a young 50 minutes on Arsenal. Sorry, guys.
Hey, my bad, man.
But hey, their box office, man. Good or bad. So yeah, the game week 28 started with a City L again. Nottingham Forest is the closest chaser to Arsenal for the second place. With a 1-0 win, Callum Hudson-Odoi with a brilliant goal. I don't know. It was a good goal, smashed in near post. Ederson should have done better. City were chasing shadows for the majority of that game as well, to be honest.
Drew, quick question, very weird one. What do you man think about the ball, the new balls they're playing in the league? What do you think about them?
I like it, man. It's bringing the old school back.
It reminds me of like old school back, yeah. I just want to get your thoughts.
Barkley's heritage, like proper Barkleyman's times, man. 100.
If you were about it, not charring them, but If you were local. And then obviously yeah, sorry. I don't want to move on from that game. City's top 4 hopes is hanging on by a thread because they had to win. This was basically a 6-pointer for them. Let me go to the Premier League table. Oh, you guys can't see that, but if you look at the Premier League table, City are 5th now currently with 47 points. Chelsea overtook them, so yeah, it's looking techie for them at the moment. And then Brighton beat Fulham 2-1. Joao Pedro, Van Hecke with the goals. Obviously, not both. Brighton are chasing Champions League spots as well, so the battle for top 4 is going crazy. Crystal Palace with a 1-0 win against Ipswich. Ismail Assar. Them man, they're doing well in it. They started very slow this season, but they're picking up. What's their gaffer called again? I keep forgetting his name.
Glasner, Oliver Glasner.
Oliver Glasner, that's it. Yeah, man. He was looking scary at the start of the season, but he's picking it up.
Hunter.
Obviously, champions elect Liverpool beating Southampton 3-1 at home. Still looking like PTSD from the game in Paris. We'll touch on that later, but it was not looking nice, man. Especially in the first half where Smallbone took the lead, but then obviously courtesy of 2 penalties and a Darwin Núñez tap in, we eventually saw ourselves as 3-1 winners. I think like this since maybe like game week, since maybe like begin November, December, like Arsenal and Liverpool, there's been parallels in performances, results, and then maybe since mid-January, Liverpool have just been turning our bad performances into dubs, whereas Arsenal
you got difference makers. That's the difference.
Exactly.
You just have difference.
Exactly.
This is it.
That's basically what it is. Where like even like players like Darwin are contributing, whether with goals or assists or just being a nuisance for defense. You get me? So yeah, I think that's a huge differentiator between Liverpool and Arsenal this season. But yeah, it wasn't nice. Southampton still on 9 points, on course to be. What's the Derby record again? Was that 8?
I think it's 11. I think from what I understand.
Was it Swindon? Was it Derby or Swindon? They had like
no. I think it should be Derby still. I'm pretty sure it's Derby at 11.
Yeah, Southampton are local to that, man. But at the same time, I feel like they're good enough to at least get 20 points, maybe from the remaining 10. But let's see. Aston
20. Oh, sorry. You mean 20 total, or you mean 20 from the remaining? 20 total.
20 in total. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. Fair enough. I thought you said 20 in the next 10 games.
That should be doable, man. If they're serious.
Yeah.
Well, Southampton.
Yeah, they got 9 at the moment.
It'll be tough though. Don't get me wrong.
15 max, bro.
I was gonna say, man, it'll be tough. I can't lie.
Tough.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Villa beat Brentford away. Watkins goal. Ramsey assist. Wolves v Watford ended in a 1-1 draw. Chelsea v Leicester ended also in a 1-0 home win for Chelsea. Cucurella goal. Cole Palmer. If you have Cole Palmer in your fantasy teams, that guy is a P word. He's a P word, man. But yeah, he missed the penalty. He's not giving us any points. But it is well, man. And obviously in the North London neighbors, Spurs.
Sorry, Andy. Speaking about that game, I don't know if you guys saw the report. Now, I don't know if it was fake news or not, but apparently Cole Palmer was sick for like 2 days heading into that game, and then he told the gaffer the morning of the game, "I want to play," and Maresca played him. He eventually ended up getting taken off like maybe like 70 minutes into the game, but I think that just says everything about Chelsea's regression this year, that Palmer can be ill and pretty much not fit to play, and Maresca is like, just go and do what you can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you not have any faith in the rest of your squad to take care of Leicester City, bro? Like, come on,
bro. He doesn't.
For me,
bro. Did you see how they played as well? Like poorly, man. And the celebrations he was having when the final whistle went, it was crazy. But obviously he knew what was at play, because obviously City lost, so this would be 2 points gained on City. So same time, I understand it, man. Just get the job done and you'll figure out your diarrhea later, man. Spurs against Bournemouth, 2-2 draw. Very entertaining game. Spurs, man, like, I think the same thing what I said about Arteta, same thing goes for Ange, but probably in a more serious way as well, man. He needs to go, man. Like, the football that he's showing, people say it is entertaining football. Yes, it's entertaining, but it's entertaining in terms of like, you're gonna see nonsense. In that regards, it's entertaining. It's not necessarily entertaining that they play good football and they're winning and they're getting trophies or whatever. You're gonna see nonsense in it. Again, man, Bournemouth, like Kepa, I don't know what he was doing for that.
You know what about that game, bro? Like on the Tottenham side, like Spurs are crap. Like there's one thing to be entertainment FC, but if anyone who watched that game knows that game could have been like 4-0 at a stage. Like the way Romero and the defenders were moving in the first half, could have been like 4-0 up. Obviously, Semenyo, very lazy of him to have been offside on the more or less by the halfway line in the lead up to that goal. I'm actually looking at Bournemouth and like that game. If they miss out on Europe, because obviously we can see between like Bournemouth, Villa, Newcastle, Brighton, it's very tight. If they miss out on Europe, they should look back at this game because they should have been clear of Tottenham before Tottenham even got back in this game. And then Kepa, just to compound their misery, like what are you doing? It's unforgivable, man. Honestly, unforgivable.
Kepa's a weird one because prior to this game, you would have thought he was having a great season, and then he just goes to make that dumb mistake, and you're thinking, okay, well, yeah.
They only conceded 34 goals, Like, I mean, I say only, but for Bournemouth, it's pretty good, to be honest. I think like top, yeah.
Impressive,
top
man.
Really
league, impressed by them this year, man.
Goals against. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, man. So that's 15 points clear for Liverpool on Arsenal. Done? Or...
It's done.
Still hope.
Been done, my brother, man. Man says still hope. Been done, man. Like I said, like we've got
10 draws, man.
Yeah. Okra Super FC, man. So yeah, man. Nothing more to say, really, man. Done deal.
Let's quickly go to Champions League, man, because maybe that's more of a happier, narrative for the Gooners. We'll start with Club Brugge against Aston Villa, which I feel like is two teams who are quite equal, to be honest. I watched that game as well, to be honest, and I think Villa just done business over there, man. I think Club Brugge were good value to at least get a draw. But yeah, Villa did business. Tyrone Mings
They're kind of unlucky as well, Brugge. They were unlucky with that Tyrone Mings line.
Yeah. It was brilliant from Tyrone Mings, though. But
amazing.
Yeah.
Brugge, man, they're what you call it, like a
dark horse.
Not dark horse, but like a counter. They're very dangerous on the counter attack,
right?
Because they got players, but they got shooters.
Yeah,
that's a dangerous combination, man. But yeah, shout out Villa, man. Like I really like what Villa's doing in the Champions League so far, and hopefully they'll go to the quarters. Borussia Dortmund against Lille looks straightforward on paper, but it ended in a draw. And then obviously PSV Eindhoven against Arsenal ended in a 7-1 dub for Arsenal. Now, for me, prior to this game, obviously both teams are in horrible form, but a Premier League team being in horrible form to a Dutch team being in horrible form is not equal. It's not the same, innit? However, this is embarrassing. I don't care what level, what team, even for like a PSV with like the manager they have, the players that they have, this should have never happened, innit? And it's what Shalom mentioned earlier, where like in Champions Leagues, teams, because they feel like they're in the Champions League, they feel like we will attack. We're at home. We need to entertain the fans. We need to do this. Respect yourself. Respect who you're playing against. Yeah, I was really happy with this, man. But yeah, how did you guys see this game?
Mace, go
on. Quickly, let's go back to the last pod when we went through this game. I think I said either we will scrape it.
Yeah, you wasn't sure. You guys weren't sure.
I wasn't too sure. Yeah, I did say we will scrape it. So watching that game and seeing the goals unfold, it was just the first time this season I just sat back and just relaxed. It was a very relaxful game to watch for me, and knowing that you more or less gone through, it's a nice feeling to have. What else can we say?
However, the game could have been very different, though. Obviously, Saibari.
If he scores that goal, but that was against the run of play because Arsenal were just very good. We
Yeah.
dominated the game. It was against runner play, and even if say Saibari scored that
No,
goal,
but they came.
I still
I think they. Yeah, you dominated the game, but they counter pressed you guys well, and then they went straight for the attack as well. They had a few chances. Let's not do that.
did. I mean, the two clear attack chances I can remember was Saibari's and then Luke De Jong's, but that's after
That was after
after the penalty.
Yeah,
the Young comes.
the Luke De Jong one, yeah. But then that's 3-2.
After Noah Lang scores that penalty. Yeah, that perhaps. But I still think seeing how that game unfolded, we just
would have won regardless. Yeah,
we were good. We were good. But this is
Lewis Kelly. The Lewis Kelly.
Oh yeah, you know what? If that was the Prem, that guy would have seen red. He would have been gone. So it was.
It could have been different. That's all I'm saying. It could have been different, but. I mean, you was good value regardless.
Yeah, we were good value. It was nice to see a referee just take the sensible approach and just, allow it. And you can see Arteta was like, let's hook this kid off. And immediately, it's nice. We hooked him up. It's interesting to see Skelly grow because you can see that aggression, and the older he gets, he needs to temper the aggression. Don't lose the aggression because that's what makes him. But you need to temper it a little bit and be a little bit smart.
Because sometimes it stays with a player, And I think is the youthful aggression exciting and better than you? That's what I'm getting from it. I'm not getting rash player. Because you have them Donnies as well that are just rash and they keep keep being down until you know what I mean. And
another thing is I think Miles plays on the edge. He's a type of player that plays like with wrist. Yeah. That's how he plays. So yeah, he needs to learn how to balance that bit. But very quickly, Wanyeri we saw in the Champions League, and we're seeing the Premier 2 Wanyeri. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that in regards to when I talk about the two different formats. Because when
do you think him getting used to every 3 weeks, that might be a thing as well, Because I think prior to the United game. What has he been poor against West Ham and them teams?
Yeah,
he's still your main guy.
This is what Saka had to learn really, really early. When you're good, people will mark you more. The attention span is a lot more at you. So Saka had to learn that in the season and figure out how to be better than I am right now. And that's what 1 year is learning. So you see in the Prem, look how Dalot was on him. Right? It was on him like glue. Who else was playing against him in West Ham? Same thing. They double marked him. The Champions League is different. You don't get that intensity in terms of how much they mark you. So you see Wanyeri do better at Champions League level than Prem. But it's just an interesting facet of seeing how different formats make players play differently. And yeah, it's just great to see, man. Also. That too. But yeah, Toast, I've said enough. Finish it off, boy.
Not that much to say, to be honest. Unfortunately, the United game obviously left a sour taste in my mouth, and it kind of just told me that the PSV game was nothing but an anomaly. 8 shots on goal, 7 goals. It's very, very rare for you to have 8 shots on goal and score 7 of them. That's very, very difficult to do. So yeah, I put it down to an anomaly. It was a feel-good sort of game for the fans. We've not had a game like that for a little while, maybe since West Ham away. Excuse me, a couple of months ago. I think the third goal, Marino's goal, killed the game because it was a mistake, I believe, by the left back of PSV, and that probably deflated them a little bit. I know they scored the penalty after that, but the game was kind of out of sight at 3-1. You're 3-1 up you're 3-1 up away, and you're losing 3-1.
I think 3-1 for them. They had hope, but
you think
second half you scored 2 quick goals. That deaded them.
Yeah,
I think that's what deaded them. Yeah, that's what deaded them. But yeah, man, good win, 7-1. It's never wrong in the knockout stages. Obviously, your potential quarterfinal opponents play the same night. Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid again. You know what I mean? Quarter 3. That's when they wake up. They don't care about quarter 1, quarter 2. January. That's when business starts, innit? So. They beat Atletico Madrid 2-1. 2 good goals, Brahim Diaz and Rodrigo. All 3 goals, actually. Julio Alvarez's goal was good as well. Slapped it. I'm hearing from the Gooners on X. I'm hearing different things. Like people prefer playing Madrid. People prefer playing Atletico. In my head, I'm just laughing because I know Arsenal have to be on their A game and probably need Saka back to have any chance against both of them. That's what I'm saying. Whether you agree or not, that's what I'm saying.
Funny? And we can obviously get onto those games maybe when the draw gets made or whatever. But I think we can actually go band for band against both teams over the 180. But when it comes down to in front of goal, Madrid particularly are going to show us Pepe. And when it comes down to just being decisive over the two legs, I think Atletico will be more decisive than us. So again, there's no good fixture there. I don't know why Arsenal fans are thinking one way or the other. But with Saka back,
I think in terms of prestige, in terms of like Champions League game, you want to play Madrid. So
I want to see Madrid personally, man. Kylian,
want to see Madrid.
Mbappe the kid.
Exactly.
Mbappe the kid.
Hey, what is doing at the Emirates? I will be there, man. I will be there. Obviously, on the Wednesday, two of my teams played. Feyenoord played against Inter at home. Second Milan team, but obviously this is the serious side. Lost 2-0. But I felt like in the first half, Feyenoord had their chances to get at least one goal. But second half, they gassed out. They'll probably go out as well. But to be honest, I blame this season with Feyenoord being poor. Definitely on injuries, man. Because, no squad depth. And if you're injured with lack of depth, it's peak. Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen as well. Surprising result as well. 3-0 to Bayern Munich. Yeah. I don't think they've beaten Leverkusen domestically this season. So this was pretty surprising. People were at Xabi Alonso for his tactics. Apparently, he didn't start a recognized striker. Boniface didn't play.
No, I think he has this. I think he has this rule that in cup games he plays his second keeper, and if you saw that game, the second keeper made a mad error.
That's just dumb, man.
So that's why people are at him.
So he's including cup games with Champions League.
Bruv, do you know what I mean? These are the most important games of your season, bro. These aren't
people wanted him to coach my club, I'll never forget. They wanted him to coach my club.
Criminal.
And then Benfica against Barca. I watched a bit of that game as well, extended highlights as well. Benfica were punching up Barca. Punch up. But obviously I think quality rules in the end, and Rafinha ended up scoring 1-0. Barca takes away, and then obviously PSG against Liverpool. Now, for me, I felt like this was the worst draw that we could have had, simply because we're facing PSG, and obviously the side of the draw that we were in. We could have had PSG or Benfica. PSG, in terms of like their recent form, I was saying that Liverpool can't be too confident of going through, because this PSV is not the same PSG, as the start of the season, innit? They're a completely different side. They're blowing teams away. They're scoring a lot of goals, creating a lot of chances, and they found a way to play Ousmane Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and Barcola at the same damn time. So it proved from minute 1 to minute. I'm going to say minute 75. Nah, I'm going to say minute 75, 80, because I think when Slot hooked off, when Slot brought on, not Harvey Elliott, who did he bring on before? He brought on the Harvey Elliott and Darwin came later. He brought on
Curtis Jones.
He brought on Curtis Jones, yes. That's where I kind of saw a change, where we kept the ball a little bit, a few seconds longer than we did. But I was so impressed with PSG, man. Like, we were very, 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 very lucky to come away with a win. I don't think any Liverpool fan, even the players, are under any illusions of that. PSG looked so good in every facet. The way they play, that's how I wanted to play. You know what I mean? But
can we talk about Nuno Mendes clamping Salah throughout that game? Salah did not have a sniff.
Yeah.
I've never seen Salah play that bad. And I've never seen a player clamp Salah like what Mendes did in that game.
But then he makes a huge mistake for the goal. Not tracking Harvey.
Yeah.
Go on, Toast.
I don't know, man. Like, obviously, it was a while now, but post-match, there was a lot of gaslighting going on in the group chat, in the VARBAR group chat, about slot and this and that. And I'm just here to tell you that it's okay to say that Liverpool just got outplayed, because I was thinking about it. You might have played Real this season. You won comfortably. You might have played Bayern Leverkusen. You played City. You played Arsenal. I've never seen Liverpool get dominated like this. I've never seen Liverpool play like that. So if people want to try and tell me that Slot came into that game on a defensive tactics type thing, I'm not buying it. It's okay to say that, you know what, on this day, the PSG really used their fans, and they really used like their press, and they got the better of you guys that day. Like they just outplayed Liverpool. Because it's one thing to say, oh, we want to play defensive and then get them on their counter attack. You boys couldn't even string like a couple of passes together for like 60, 70 minutes of the game. So my only takeaway is amazing result, absolutely. But let's not do the Slot masterclass thing, because
give Slot the
like,
credit.
you didn't play like that, like in the other games. So I just feel as if it was a bit disingenuous, the narratives that were coming out of the game.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. Definitely can't chalk it with Slot masterclass. What I do want to give Slot credit for is the timing of the substitutions.
Absolutely.
That I definitely want to give him credit for, and that is a Slot. Can you call it a masterclass? No, because we got dominated. Another thing that I want to say as well is that because we played like this against City and it worked. Obviously, it worked because City doesn't have the quality. But I don't think Liverpool is equipped to play this way. I don't think we are. Yes, we have players up front who are fast, etc. But we're not equipped to sit back. You know what? Like Arsenal, I think, are equipped to do that. They can do both things. I don't think Liverpool can. We need to just play our game, and if it's a shootout, it's a shootout. If we get beat, we get beat. But I don't think this game suits us, because when we face a team as dynamic and as technically sound in midfield as PSG, it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's an absolute problem, and it showed. So I hope that in the game tomorrow, that Slot will just be like, yo, you're at Anfield, play the game that you know, press, counter press, control the ball whenever you need, but don't sit back with 2 banks of 4, man, because that's a huge mistake, man. You saw the way they were peppering.
I expect Liverpool to go through. If that game maybe goes to like extra time or something, and PSG maybe win on penalties or something crazy like that, I wouldn't be totally shocked unless Liverpool play completely differently tomorrow. Because man, like I've watched a lot of Liverpool games this year, and I've not seen a team have that much of the ball and control that much of the game for that long all season.
Yeah.
So interesting to see how you match up in the second leg.
Yeah, the only way PSG wins that game is if they start with a recognized 9, because the main issue for PSG against Liverpool was they just couldn't score.
Yeah.
And I think
that's an Alisson thing rather than them. The shots were quality, bro. That's another thing. We gave them quality chances.
But I do think what they needed was just a 9, someone to distract VVD or Konate, so PSG can attack more. It's just they were relaxed.
How would you do that formation wise? So someone
take out
Barcola. You would take out Barcola.
Yeah, I'll take out Barcola and just play Usman and Kvaratskhelia. And just put number 9, which would be Ramos.
Ramos, yeah.
Yeah. That's the only way I think they go through, because they did everything right but score.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out PSG, man. Very nice team, man. But not on my watch, man. We need to go through, man. I think if we go through, we have a decent chance of reaching, the final. But we need to see out PSG first, man. So I can't really talk about the Champions League. Right now, I'm Campione in the Premier League. Champions League, we wait and see, man. You get me? With that being said, let's head over to the bar, man. If y'all got any shots.
Yeah, there's nothing to say, man. At this point, man, you just got, it's them ones where you've got to take your medicine. Potentially got to do a guard of honor. You just got to hold that, man. Unfortunately, like this was not. I don't think anyone expected like the title to be more or less done this early. Do you know what I mean? So it's even just from a football fan perspective, like it's anticlimactic. It's a shame. Win, lose or draw, I would have liked to have seen Arsenal go to the last stage. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, very, very underwhelming end to the season. Now we just got to make sure that we don't get dragged into a top 4 battle, man. Which I personally think we should have enough not to. But I mean, let's be honest, the table, it's not like we're not a million miles away from getting dragged back in. So yeah, man.
Mace, any shots?
Got nothing. It's a dry spell for me out here. So we're just gonna watch you take your shots and I'm gonna call it a day.
No, I just have one shot, man. My shot goes for Harvey Elliott, man. Obviously, like I don't know if I've been screaming in the group chat, but my personal opinion is that Harvey Elliott's days are numbered at Liverpool. I think like in the summer, if a team comes with a bid for him, like the mid-table teams like a Brighton, etc., we're gonna ship him. Simply because I feel like Slot prefers the others. However, I know that he feels that as well. So every time he comes on, he shows out. And that's what I've been seeing right now as well. Against PSG, he done really well to lose his man and drive forward and get the goal. Goalkeeper is questionable, of course, but he had to score. And also in the game against Southampton as well, played really well as well. And yeah, man, he's just fighting for his Liverpool career at the moment, man. So I just want to take a shot for that. Obviously, help us to get these last couple of games over the line, of course, and do what you can. I still think you're going to get shipped. Although in some way, I don't want to see it because I feel like he's kind of like a unique player. And, his ceiling can be quite high. But in our team, I don't necessarily see it, man. But yeah, my shot goes for Harvey Elliott, man.
Just real quick, I want Arsenal to do that, the Oxlade-Chamberlain thing, man. And Harvey, man, come London, man. Come home, man. Like, we'll take care of you, my boy.
You'll take him, yeah?
I'll take him 100%, bro. Like, he's a baller, man. Like, I've always rated him, man. Like, from his first initial loan, yeah, man, bags of ability, man, and definitely doesn't get probably the shine and the opportunities he deserves at Liverpool, man. But yeah, definitely a quality player, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that was it, man. Obviously, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Listen to the pod on Spotify and all the podcast platforms as well. My name is Andrew, aka Rapping Drew. Mace and Toast, thank you very much. We are the VBP boys, and we out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace.